Well, a political firestorm is now sweeping across the U.S., sparked by news the U.S. Supreme Court is set to strike down the constitutional right to an abortion within weeks.
No! My body! My choice! My body! My choice!
Now, that was the New York State Attorney General leading pro-choice protesters in Manhattan, just one of the marches and rallies in cities right across the United States. A leaked draft opinion showing that the conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court has voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, the half-century-old case that set the precedent for abortion rights in the U.S. The Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court confirming the draft is authentic, but he insists it is not final. The final ruling expected by the end of June. Well, the CBC's Magda Gabas-Salasa leads off our coverage in this hour. She joins us right now in Washington. Good morning, Magda.
Good morning.
Listen, let's start here with the breach that is causing so much turmoil in the U.S. The Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, he says it is being investigated. Talk to us about what that investigation will actually involve.
Yeah, so this is going to target the limited number of people who would have had access to that first draft opinion. So that revealed, that opinion, of course, revealed that 5 justices would vote in favor of removing abortion as a federal right. Now, Chief Justice Roberts said the leak is, quote, the singular and egregious breach of trust, and he's the one that asked the court's police service to investigate. So they'll be looking at some 50 people who may have had access to the document, and that, of course, includes law clerks, other staff, and the 9 justices. So U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell said that this was a lawless action, that the leak was a lawless action, and that it needed to be punished. Here's more from him.
I hope that the leaker, who is extremely likely to be found given the limited number of people who have the ability to access early drafts of opinions, will be dealt with as severely as the law may allow.
Meanwhile, Democrat and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is accusing the Republicans of trying to put the focus mainly on the leak and the investigation, and here's why.
Republicans are spending all their focus on the leak because they don't want to focus on Roe v. Wade. They know they're on the wrong side of history. They know they're on the wrong side of where the American people are.
Now, again, this leaked opinion is a first draft. It's not the final decision, and that's not going to come for some time, possibly in June or July.
Okay, well, let's talk about the issues right now because, of course, constitutional right to an abortion has been settled in the United States for half a century now, but the political fight remains this lightning rod with the power to energize both pro-choice and anti-abortion activists. What are we seeing across the U.S. right now?
Well, no surprise, though, we continued to see demonstrators from both sides at the Supreme Court throughout the day yesterday and last night. But yes, there were demonstrations across the U.S., in Phoenix, in Chicago, in Miami, in L.A., and New York, to name a few of them. And it was mostly people calling for Roe v. Wade to be protected. But there were also some anti-abortion activists showing up at some of the spots as well. So here's more reaction from both sides.
Abortion will not end. It will just become dangerous for women to have access to this. These are archaic rules that we're placing over women's bodies, and it's time for all of us to rise up.
As the sign says, abortion is murder, and I feel that way, period.
And Michael, it's likely we're going to continue to see demonstrations like this across the country until this is more clear where, it's clear where the Supreme Court stands on this issue. And as I said, it's going to be a little while before we know for sure.
Okay, Magda, thank you for that. Or Magda Gabas-Salasa in Washington.